Callscriber is VoiceInteraction's speech analytics software, an application based on artificial intelligence that automatically receives, transcribes, and analyzes all of the interactions received at your contact center. Based on proprietary speech recognition technology, this platform seeks to optimize access to typically inaccessible analytical metadata, providing a proactive perspective in terms of business intelligence for 100% of incoming calls. For a customized approach to your business, statistical categorization models are created to specifically respond to your business environment and positioning. With immediate integration into pre-existing workflows, it naturally promotes new monitoring guidelines and uncovers what motivates incoming interactions. Free human resources from operations that can be automated and use them for tasks where human touch has a greater expression and return of investment. Callscriber aims to equip your business with relevant added value for this sector. Centralized dashboards with structured and customized KPIs customized for your business activity. A fully automated transcription workflow per single interaction for any customer, performed through VoiceInteraction's proprietary automatic speech recognition engine. The descriptive categorization of all incoming calls defined by root cause, displayed in the record of all transcripts with timestamps. The causal relationship between root cause categorization and emotional polarity factors for each interaction are measured for both clients and agents. A quality of customer care analysis, both descriptive and comprehensive, which identifies all points of interest. The measurement of adherence to the protocol, which is carried out through a predictive assessment for each active agent. This centralized search engine not only allows the creation of a contact history where all interaction points by a particular customer are registered, but also the possibility of keyword index searches combined with restrictive filters, which allows you to accelerate the discovery of interactions of interest. Callscriber is a fully independent management platform where you only have to choose where to install it, either on your IT infrastructure or on the external centralized cloud platform. No matter what choice you make, you will always have absolute control over the platform and protection of your data. The automated discovery of customer insights has become imperative in the expansion and innovation strategy of any business. This approach is justified based on advances in computing that now make it possible to gather and store crucial information about your customers and the relationship they have with your business. Modernizing your operational management requires a systematic and iterative approach at all levels. With Callscriber, discover, analyze, and act on key interaction trends, minimizing contact points, and maximizing your customer's experience. Now, a full tour of the application. As we go along, everything will become more apparent as we familiarize you with our software. Once logged in, you will be presented with the platform's interface. On the left side, a navigation sidebar that grants access to the Services tab. Under it, you will find the Administration tab, which includes Service Management, a list of all available services classified by service name, service identificator, and a brief service description. The User Management Wizard, a display of all verified users' properties such as username, user type, user role, creation date, user state, and last login. Whenever creating a new user, the system will require a user login, password, type, role, the select services attributed to said user, name, and email as stated. Once complete, just click on Create New User to conclude the process. Following user management, you will find the classification management of all services, which includes a filtering search bar that combs through all the services. Similar to user management, you may also add new classifications. Here you will be able to manually input the service's classification name, category group, category color, and 2 automatic score multipliers to further infer the category's impact on pre-accorded guidelines. Polarity with positive, neutral, or negative values, and severity ranging in value from 0 to 5. Under it, a descriptive field meant for the addition and editing of keywords and key phrases relative to the service. Up next, the Configurations Management. This allows further customizations to any ongoing service. And finally, the Register License sub-tab, where you will simply insert the attributed license key and activate the software. You may also force activation or reload license information here. Now let's direct our attention to the main page. Here you will find the three main Callscriber sections. Service metrics, where you may engage with a global view of your operation, complete with extensive numerical evaluations that are factored in per interaction or hour for fully comprehensive analysis. Conversation analytics, where you may analyze all the pre-agreed business scope's key points of interest. Fully powered by VoiceInteraction's automatic speech recognition technology through custom-designed telephone models. This is where Callscriber makes the use of the extraction and indexation of otherwise untapped metadata and other critical values. Interactions and search filter, where you will interact with 100% of all made calls, filter them according to any specific trait, and restrict them for further detailed analysis. You may also monitor any individual call and keep track of everything that is going on within your contact center. On your upper right corner, you may access and change your personal information. Here you may update your password, as well as the app's display name, email, and company if stated. Next up, the workspace language, which by default comes in English. When selecting a different language, every displayed text will automatically be translated to the desired language. And finally, the Logout button. This logs you out from the application. Now, an in-depth follow-through of Callscriber's service metrics. As previously mentioned, this sub-tab is daily updated with numerical values that create a global compound effect, designed to display the most accurate and up-to-date overview of your entire contact center operation. On your upper left corner, you will find a button that collapses the previously addressed service sidebar. To its right, the Calendar button. When selected, the app's calendar will pop up, allowing you to refine your search to any interactions that went on in the past days, months, or even years. You may also set up a custom range for specific time periods. Under it, the Service Statistics column, a dedicated dashboard for detailed information that pertains to any call. Here, you may filter either from the previously assessed custom temporal range or simply pick Global to interact with the Global Operations overview. Filter interactions, where you may filter through analyzable interactions, not analyzable interactions, or all interactions. The Advanced Search button to the right allows you to further specify which kind of interaction you are looking for. Filter your search down to audio ID, keywords, service type, destination, included typification, asset duration, agent in charge, interaction result, client segment, non-included typification, service name, origin, interaction success, and time period. To its right, the Refresh Analytics button. Now for the Service Stats row, located below. The Checkmark button activates the Success Metrics drop-down menu. Here you will gauge how your calls progressed, if they were successful or unsuccessful once concluded, and what was the average time wasted. The metric system that follows is streamlined for contact centers, as it is based on market experience, but VoiceInteraction can always provide further assistance by customizing your platform's core value system. This means editing the following descriptive fields by tailoring them to your business needs. For this model, Callscriber proceeds with the Interaction Result menu on the button to the right. Here you will be able to segment calls from 10 different outcomes: not answering, reschedule, return call, PTP, client's absence, negotiation, awaiting client's contact, no signal, annulment, and finally, unknown. Up next, the Audio Statistics button. In this section, the conversation time is measured in actual actionable, real conversation distributed between agents, clients. And not to be forgotten, the impact of hold time, or whenever a client has to be put on hold during a call. The next button is dedicated to agent metrics, with the username, total conversation time, successful interactions, and real conversation, all being factored into the final user success equation. And finally, the processing stats with a complete overview concerning the exact number of processed interactions, as well as which can be dispatched as being concluded or done. Moving to the right of this first column, the yellow headers found at the top of the page are relative to the total number of interactions, number of inbound interactions, number of outbound interactions, and interactions peak. The second row of numerical headers pertains to the total operation time, inbound operations, outbound interactions, and average handling time. Next up, metrics by service. For this particular model, Callscriber continuously updates all info concerning outbound predictive interactions, outbound preview, inbound interactions, and general manual. Once again, the model customization will be tailored to your business needs. Just under it, the Detail by Service row, a dedicated dashboard that pertains to specific info detailing each and every service, mostly characterized by average conversation time. To the right, 2 visual graphs that illustrate the aforementioned values whilst remaining interactive with these same 2 rows. Now an in-depth follow-through of Callscriber's conversation analytics. As previously mentioned, this subtab focuses on analyzing the pre-agreed custom selection that encompasses all your business scope's key interests. Beyond the common CRM generation, this subtab generates multiple interaction causes and compounds them for truly comprehensive analysis. Now for the Service Stats row, located below. The first button activates the Root Causes menu. Here you may gauge under which category or categories do most interactions fall under. For instance, you will now be able to infer how many calls were made due to A. Credit regulating, B. Payment plans, or C. Reference entity. Right under this menu, an assessment list portraying the call's outcome where you may infer, for instance, if A. Unavailability, B. Professional, or even C. Financial unfulfillment. Next up, the Positive Causes menu, a menu that groups in all situations from which the outcome tends to be favorable for your business operations. For this model, the options are as follows: A. Payment processing, B. General documentation, and C. Friendly recoup from previous financial unfulfilled commitment. On the contrary, the Negative Causes menu will group in all situations from which the outcome tends to be unfavorable to your business operation progress. In this model, the options are as follows: A. Client not answering, B. Payment delayed, and C. Financial unfulfillment. Moving on to the next menu, Classification by Group. The system will monitor every call to ensure that your agents are adhering to the protocol, analyzing the delivery or failure to adhere to simple greetings when answering the phone. Other guidelines include billing derivatives, global occurrences, conformity to previous agreements, and finally, credit status. Just like the Service Metrics page, the Conversation Analytics subtab also includes the same Metrics by Service row. As previously stated, the model customization will be tailored to your business needs. In this model, you will be able to make use of the same tools found in the Service Metrics subtab. Just under it, the Detail by Service row, a dedicated dashboard that pertains to specific info detailing each and every service, mostly characterized by average conversation time. To the right, 2 visual graphs that illustrate the aforementioned values whilst remaining interactive with these same 2 rows. Again, just like the Service Metrics page, the Conversation Analytics subtab also includes the same Detail by Service row, a manual input field. This is where agents can fill out CRM progress or any other pertinent root cause that has been driven from the interaction. Just like Service Metrics, the Conversation Analytics subtab also includes the same numerical headers, metrics, and detail. The distinction stems from the Visual Graphs area, whereas now you will be greeted by a Topics Distribution Diagram, a visual aid that manages all business derivatives while compounding them into a hierarchical domain map. Under it, all pre-accorded keywords and phrases that are mentioned during all interactions, segmented by global, contact center, operators, and clients. And finally, a follow-through of Callscriber's interaction. As previously mentioned, this subtab focuses on interacting with 100% of all made calls. Filter them according to any specific trait and restrict them for further detailed analysis. You may also monitor any individual call and keep track of everything that is going on within your contact center. The Asset list gathers all interactions that have been processed and are now ready for post-analysis. Starting from the top, the time range of these findings will limit the included assets. You may also filter interactions by analyzable, non-analyzable, classified, non-classified, and all. The third filter on your upper right side allows for sorting by newer date, older date, longest duration, and shortest duration. Now let's analyze one of the many available interactions just under this header. The service number will be displayed on your upper left corner. followed by date and time of creation, complete with an interaction filter warning concerning its analysis, whether it's analyzable, non-analyzable. The service type infers about the type of interaction, inbound or outbound, and the institution responsible for the call. Client ID refers to the client's contact whenever in need. The interaction outcome has also been defined as the grouping of possible outcomes that are labeled at the end of an interaction with a client. Asset duration, call drivers, agent in charge, interaction protocol, and hold time have already been previously detailed and explained. To the right, the advanced search column. Fully equipped with multiple search fields, this dashboard enables highly precise queries concerning the full content extent of all interactions. Filtering this search are the following interaction properties: audio ID, included typifications, non-included typifications, search by term, asset duration, service name, service type, agent in charge, origin, destination, interaction result, interaction success, client segment, and interaction time period. Once filtered, simply click on Search Contents and the system will do the rest. Now returning to the asset list, simply click on the Open Asset button to access the full extent of any media asset. Once in this page, you will be met with 3 different columns. To your left, the Asset Identifier. This will be the main display for information concerning the client's interaction, complete with customer relationship management progress and extracted metadata from those same interactions. It will provide you with a clear overview of any selected individual call. Starting off, the Go Back button will transport you back to the original interaction search and filter page. To its right, a Reload Call button enables a quick refresh of the call. The icon in the middle indicates that this particular call falls under the inbound category while carrying its service number under it. On the upper right corner, the typification under which the calls falls. In this case, an inbound call directed to the GNB F1 account. To conclude, the interaction's outcome is displayed under it, and further contact info on the particular agent and client with the date and duration of the call also visible. Moving down, as you will find precise audio metadata concerning the actual call's discourse distribution between agent and client. This board expresses real conversation percentage, what the speech segmentation between agent and client was really like, how many words were spoken by both participants and how they were distributed, what was the speech rate between them, and finally, how many times the conversation has overlapped. In the end, the app will also provide hold time percentages relative to the call, so to better gauge how long the client was put on hold, if at all. At the center, the complete textual transcription of the interaction that is being analyzed. VoiceInteraction's automatic recognition accuracy enables full interactions analysis based solely on its automatically generated transcriptions. This means no need for audio playback. Segmented by speaker turns, both agent and client will have color-coded marks, complete with the call's relative timestamps to indicate the beginning of each sentence. Also, as the conversation moves along, the presence of keywords and key phrases can be noted by the presence of highlighted terms and colored dots on the upper right corner, linking them as such to the conversation's distribution diagram down below. Next up, the interaction analysis column, a quick debrief to settle any doubts concerning the interaction. The summary of the call's drivers, client experience rate, agent and client categorization, which are again color-coded for quick access and visual comprehension while traversing the interaction. Followed by most significant terms by both client and agent. And finally, the interaction's protocol adherence, relative to the monitoring of the agent's posture. Did he or her let the client know that the interaction was being recorded? Was the client greeted at the beginning? Did the agent ask for the client's identification? And if the agent said goodbye at the end of the call? All previously mentioned terms and guidelines can and should be adapted to your business scope. Paired with its inherent recognition capabilities, Callscriber aims to empower your interactions through speech analytics, big data mapping, and metadata extraction. In exchange, VoiceInteraction simply requires a better understanding of the client's typical audio quality, while adapting its language models to be custom-tailored to your business scope's vocabulary. Under these 3 rows, the activity timeline illustrates all of the speaker turns that took place during the interaction, segmented by color, the agent's participation in yellow and the client's participation in blue. A visual representation that allows for immediate discovery about who took the lead of the conversation and during which segments. Parallel to this analysis, The system will also point out specific categories that are denoted during the interaction and indicate them with color-coded dots. The goal is to provide an immediate visual grasp on the subjects that were mentioned and how the call progressed overall. And finally, on the bottom of the page, the audio player. This element serves the listening experience, allowing you to follow along while reading the conversation's transcript. A dynamic add-on that completes the speech analytics experience provided by Callscriber and concludes this application tour.
Isso vai ter que ser parcelado. Eu queria perceber de vocês até onde vai a vossa elasticidade. Vista a conjuntura atual, eu também, nessa altura, não tenho conseguido acudir como gostaria, como desejado, não é? Agora eu queria perceber convosco. É 1.600 a carta que eu tenho.
Sim,
é isso?
sim, exatamente.
Pronto. Diga-me uma coisa, qual é a elasticidade de eu parcelar isso 3 vezes ou 4? É possível?
Mas é assim, o senhor iria conseguir fazer esses pagamentos em que dia?
Subscribe to our channels to stay informed about our solutions, scientific development cycles, and all the latest company news.